Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. My name is Maria. If this happens to be your first time visiting, welcome to Siempre Infinitos DIY. So a couple of years ago I purchased some foam trees from Amazon and I have one left, and I made this adorable ice cream Christmas tree. So I have one more left and I thought, why not make one for Halloween, and I decided to call this one a trick or tree. Do you get it? Trick or tree? Anyways, so let's begin, friends. Okay, so you want to first start of just conditioning your clay. Once you have your clay well conditioned, then you're just going to start rolling it out, but make sure that you have some ring guides on them. If you don't have any ring guides, you can also use like those sticks that they give, they're paint sticks that they give you at the hardware store. You can tape 2 of those or 3, as many you want, and then that will also help you to make sure that your clay is even, and then also that it's not too thin. So once you have your clay all rolled out, then you're just going to start wrapping your entire tree with your clay. You want to make sure that you trim off, of course, all of that extra clay, but you also want to make sure that you start like shaping your tree, so make sure there's no bubbles in there. And then as you can see here, all I'm doing is just shaping up my tree, and then covering, making sure that my entire tree is covered well, there's no bubbles in there. And then any extra clay, I'm going to just start trimming that off. And right where you see the white foam, well, I'm going to start rubbing the clay in that way, like on both ends. I want to start rubbing it together. Do not worry, when your clay is soft, it's very forgivable, so all of those lines will disappear. Just make sure that you rub those pieces well and together, as you see that I'm doing right there. And that's it. Now, a spoiler alert, because I wanted my tree, well, this color is actually one of the colors that I'm going to be using, and I thought, you know what, let me change the color of my tree. So I will show you shortly what color I decided to go with. I'm sure most of you who already know who I am, what color I decided to go with. But anyways, so because I'm not into scary Halloween, and most of you also know this, I decided to do my more of a whimsical pastel cute tree. So those are the colors that I'm going to be using. And yes, if you said pink, you were right. So here is my new improved color tree. So the same way that I showed you with the orange is the same way that I did this one. And I'm going to be using some resin ice. If you choose to use resin ice, you want to make sure that you press those in down, because once your clay dries, they will fall off. So you want to make sure that to press them in there well. And then I showed you that color pink because actually that was another color that I was going to go with for the hat, because that's what I'm going to be making now. But I thought that I was just a little bit too much, so chose to go with this lilac purple. And then I'm just going to be making a teardrop shape, and I'm going to be sizing it, making sure that it fits, that it's the right size for her little head there. And then once I make the shape, then as you can see there with my thumb, and I'm also going to be using like a small roller if you want to use that instead. And I'm going to be making like a hole in there, if that makes any sense, and then just so it could fit perfect and better in her head and not just be like flat. So once I start shaping my teardrop, and that's going to be my hat, and then I'm just right on the tip, I'm just going to fold that over, and then I'm going to be using a fondant tool, and just like this one right here, and I'm just going to be making like the letter V, so where it looked like where it fold over just like that. And then I'm going to be grabbing a cookie cutter, a round cookie cutter. I don't remember the measurement of what size of cookie cutter, but I will be adding it here in the link, also here in the video. And again, don't forget not to roll it out to your clay too thin. Here I forgot to actually put my rings on, but because I work with clay so much, I can pretty much tell if it's too thin or not. But usually a lot of times we just eyeball it. So here is the ring that I chose to go with, because the other ones were a little bit too small. And then of course I'm not going to place the hat just as of yet. I'm just going to make it, and I'm going to set it to the side because I want it to dry a little bit more, so when I place it on her, the round circle on the bottom, it's not going to fold over. You can if you want, but I chose not to. And there goes that hole again, because I want to make sure that it sits in there and not flat, so it will look like she's actually wearing it. And as you can see, this is how easy and simple this is starting to look. And of course it is did not take me long to make this. You can actually have your little ones, you know, do one of them by themselves. And yeah, so I I think even with if they got those really soft scissors, you know, the round scissors where they're not sharp, they can even, you know, go in there and try this on their own. This was really fun to make, really cute. I mean, you can add whatever you want on your tree. You know, just whenever you are adding black, you want to be careful. You see, I guess you can see a little bit some black there on my hat, because well, my clay is soft, right? But anyway, but yeah, let me know if you want to try this out. I will be leaving the link of the tree that I purchased, but there are also others that are a little bit shaped differently, but a little bit less um, in the price. So I'll leave the links of both of the trees there, you know. And yeah, like I said, this is really cute and adorable, and I've been wanting to do something with this tree because I actually had it for some time, didn't know what I wanted to do with it, so I was like, you know what, let's make a Halloween. So here I am going to be making now some cute little pumpkins that I'm going to be hanging on my tree. And you can make as many as you want. All I did is just roll the ball, and then I use here my tool again, and then I just started making the lines, made some little cute eyes. Now I when I went and added the little beads for his eyes, I did use glue. So if you have the little ones doing this, you might want to do this part for them because the little beads are a little bit too small. And plus also, when I added my beads, they just kept falling off, and if you don't want that to happen, then it's just go right ahead and do that for them, glue it in there for them. And yeah, so then I want some the little stem there, or the handle to the pumpkin, to have some gold, so I just went ahead and paint those. I gave it about 2 coats, and it you have to have a really small thin brush. It depends if this is the size that you're making your pumpkin. And then of course here we have a little ghost, and I'm gonna be, again, you saw that I made a teardrop, curl somewhat the tip of that teardrop, and then just made cute little eyes. The same thing with the beads. I went ahead and glued them in there. I just did that to one to the other. I actually let it dry a little bit, and then I went in with my pen, my ink pen, and I drew the eyes upside down, which it looks like, you know, they're closed there, not upside down. Well, I did have it upside down, but you know what I'm trying to say here. So well, if you put it upside down and you just draw the letter U, then that will probably be easier, and you'll have it even rather than you try to do it upward, if that makes any sense. So here I'm going to be making some hard candy swirls, and I just made little thin worm shapes, and I started twisting and rolling. This is how easy this was. Now there's 2 ways that you can do this. This is the one way, right? You just twist and you roll, and you can just roll it into a round candy shape. If you don't want to use this clear stamp, you know, to where you can make it even, if that makes any sense, rather than bumpy. So you can have 2 different types of candy swirls. But yeah, so as many as you want, you make. I made about maybe 6 of them, and the thinner I was rolling them out, the more I would cut. And yeah, but like I said, was easy and simple. I did not go all crazy on my tree. Afterwards I was thinking about maybe I could have used other little things in there, but candy wise and stuff like that. But I just thought that sometimes, you know, less is best. But if you decide to make one on your own, go for it, you know, because at the end of the day it is yours. So do as many as you want. And again, you know, I this is so simple, so easy. Your little ones can do this, you know. And also, if I inspire you in any way, let me know. I would love to hear that. And let me know on how I inspire you. If you're not following me, I hope you consider and following me, because I'm back here again trying to make and send. I'm trying to send so many videos out here for you to watch, to inspire you, to maybe give you an idea. If you have a different way of doing yours, that's awesome, you know, because that's why I like to come in here. I give you an idea and then you run with it. So also I decided to add a little cabochon, some of us call it charms, just glue that in there. And I did use actually some very strong glue. Well, actually I believe I use oh my goodness, what do you call that, crazy glue for that. But anyway, so here it is, and ready to see the whole thing put together. There it is. What do you think? So I also added little hands on my ghost because I wanted to look like it was, they were reaching over or trying to look over. But anyways, my friends, as you can see, this also is the end of the video. Thank you so much for coming in here, hanging out with me. I hope I inspire you in one way or another, and I will catch you on the next video. So until the next time, my friends, please stay safe, be kind. Bye.